Hello YouTube, Scamp the Wolf here, back with another video for your viewing pleasure. And this is going to be another one of those roundup videos where I take some songs, some albums, and then put them together like in one video. So we have three singles tonight. We have Dayseeker, Erra, and Of Mice and Men. All three of them have new singles coming out this weekend, of course. So that's definitely a good thing. And we have a new Dead7 album. It's actually their debut album, so we'll get to that as well. And let's begin. Dayseeker, of course, has new material coming out. We did know that they were probably going to have a new album come out because of Pale Moonlight that was released about 3 months ago. Um, so now they have the second single from that album, from the new album, newly announced album, Creature in the Black Night. And that is also the name of the song that they released as well. And yeah, so let's start there. If you know, like, if you watched any of the shorts that I did, like, it wasn't huge on Pale Moonlight necessarily. I felt it was very standard, like, to what Dayseeker had been doing. And reading like all the notes and stuff about this album's inception, about all that, like, it did get me like anticipating this single a little bit. And after hearing it, I do feel that it also has the same problem. It's just kind of generic, like active rock kind of like stuff. Like, it isn't bad or anything. It's not like a bad song. Like, it's just so slow. Like, you feel like there's gonna be like something going on, like, and then like it does eventually, like at the very end of the song, the very climax, you do get that final chorus, and it is like powerful and like all that kind of stuff. But like, I feel like it just really doesn't, like, it's not resonating with me as much as I really would have liked to have resonate with me. Like, because I remember when the song "Without Me" came out from their last album, I thought that was a very good song as well. Like, and that really made me hopeful for that album. And then Dark Sun ended up being a perfectly good album in my opinion. This one I don't really know. Creature in the Black Night is kind of a slow burn song, and it doesn't really do too much that we haven't really heard before in music. And like, some of the parts are cringe. Like, some of the manipulated like vocals are kind of like cringe. It's like the chorus is basic, it's basic, like radio, like metalcore, only like they put it into like a softer kind of like melodic kind of, like, I don't know, ambient kind of like feel to it in the first two verses, I mean choruses, and then the chorus at the end, of course. So it's just, I mean, I like the lyrics just fine. Like, there is a lot of like metaphor and stuff in the lyrics, which not that's which is like obvious or whatever. But I don't know. This song, it's all right. It is better than Pale Moonlight, because when I listen to Pale Moonlight, I'm like, oh, this is just so generic. But the good news is this is fine. So it is kind of a passable like track, but it's not really that much. We'll have to see what the album does in order for it to like really like exceed expectations or whatever. So that's basically it for that. And we also have another standard track with Erra with their song "Gore of Being," which could be off of an album, who knows? But I mean, this is standard, but I feel like this track is better than the Dayseeker one for sure, because I don't know. I think the musicianship, like, it's definitely expected, like from what Erra's been doing. Obviously, this feels like it was cut from the same cloth as their album Cure, which came out last year. I thought that was pretty good. Like, kind of the melodic side mixed with like the technicality, the jet isms of everything. like in the musicianship and stuff. Like, and I feel like they do a pretty solid job with like some of that stuff. You know, like I think the musicianship is good. Structurally, though, like it's kind of weird how they do the third chorus thing because like it feels like it could be a cop out moment, but really it isn't. Like it's just done differently. You know, he just like sings it like quieter, and then like the end of that, and that's good and all. But you know, like I really wished for something a little bit more to end the track. Other than that, though, I think I don't have any problems with this song. I think this song is pretty solid. I don't know if this will be on a new album or anything, but um, I think the song is like fine for what it is. It's definitely going to satiate a lot of modern metalcore fans for sure. This is something that has like an identity to it that they can like really enjoy. Like, so it isn't really generic by any means whatsoever. It is generic for Erra, but it's not generic in the terms of this is just standard like faceless metalcore that you've heard of, like that is so like omnipresent in the genre that is just ridiculous. But yeah, I think this song's fine as well. Like it's nothing like landmark or anything. Uh, so yeah, that's it. And of Mice and Men, interesting segue there. But yeah, Mice and Men have another new song called "Wake Up." It is from their newly announced album, Another Miracle, that's coming out later this November. So great, a new Mice and Men album. Hopefully, like I hope that this is better than Tether and Echo, but when I reviewed Another Miracle, I was not very high on it at all because I think that song is very disappointing and it is also a garbage song. It is basically like that song was basically everything that is wrong with Of Mice and Men now. And Wake Up really isn't like that at all. I think this song, Wake Up, like is definitely a lot better than Another Miracle. I really think like if this album was like Wake Up a little bit more, then maybe it might have a chance. But again, it's not really like the best thing that Of Mice and Men have done in any way whatsoever. I really think that their best days are long gone, unless their best days would be long gone unless they can really get it together, really put something out there that's like not mediocre trash. You know what I mean? And on this song, they do try a little bit. I mean, the acoustics and stuff, they're definitely in there. There's some like cleverness to it. Like, there's like lyrics that are pretty good. They're not like the same kind of like drivel or not drivel, but the same kind of material that we've heard on the previous song that they released from this album. It's not like the same stuff. Like they are trying a little bit more. They are channeling that defy kind of sound a little bit more on this. Like, and you know, I do like that about this song. I do like Aaron Pauli is trying here. He's not phoning it in or anything. Even though I gotta be honest, the chorus melody like really isn't doing that much for me. Like it just it just kind of like doesn't mesh as well with the song. But like I think the verses are pretty good, especially with those acoustics coming in on it. It's a very unique song. It would be a very unique song for this album for sure. Um, yeah, overall, this is a pretty solid song too. I mean, like it does kind of end weird again with repeating the first two lines of the song. I think, but other than that, I feel like that is a trend that's happening. But I mean, other than that, like it's solid. You know, it's definitely way better than Another Miracle for sure, and definitely one of the best songs that they've done in this decade for sure. And that's not saying much because I've not had a high opinion about Of Mice and Men in this decade. I mean, their fall from grace really should be studied like in a future video, but we'll see if Another Miracle is bad or good enough or how the quality is in order for me to do that. So yeah, that's all I got for singles, and we're gonna do the album. We got the debut album from Dead7, which has a long title, Love What You Can While You Got Something Left to Love, which, whatever. They can title it whatever they want, but it's a very long title, and it yeah, just get on. I'm just gonna get on to the review here. So, yeah, Dead7. This band definitely got me excited when I heard them last year. That I heard the song, uh, "Let Me Drown," and I thought that song was very good. I thought the band definitely had a lot of potential for where they could go, and like what they could do because yeah, it's just a really good song. And when I heard they signed with Sharp Tone, I was definitely excited for that. Heard the first two singles from this album, Blur and Hole. And yeah, I did think they were pretty good. They do lean. I was surprised to find out that they leaned more on the pop sensibility, like a little bit more like pop friendly than like anything that they've done. But they still do combine it with that like heaviness, that like complete dissonance in their sound. Like especially with like Blur, you hear like a lot of different things in this band's sound. Like a lot of different like bands come to mind, like Loathe and like Reflections, maybe like with like the deep guitar like tones and stuff like that. Like a lot of that kind of music mixed in with like what's going on today in the world in rock and like active rock and like all that kind of a lot of bands that have crossed over. So that's definitely an interesting thing. And listening to this album, you can tell like I get like very different like impressions from what I'm hearing from this album. It's trying to be unique. It's trying to be like definitely like it's trying to like have its own identity, and I feel like Dead7 really do have their own identity, like somewhat. But I feel like there's more tracks that like really don't land as often as they should, and like this is only their debut album, so it's not like it's probably not their fault for sure. I mean, like it could be a case of they do have a long ways to go before they have like an album that's perfect, or this is just what they're going to be doing for the rest of their career, and it's going to be very static, very just flat line through their career. Who knows, like where they could be? They could even like disband after this album, and if there's really not much demand for this whatsoever. But that's kind of what I'm feeling about this album in particular. Like, there's a lot of like I appreciate like the uniqueness and stuff, but there's a lot of tracks on here that there's like a good bulk of this album is like this is basically like they're guising like some very like standardized like song formats under the guise of being like this super dark, brooding, intense, like just dissonant kind of sound. You know, when you get to tracks like Nuclear and Enemy, which I'm not really all that for, to be honest, like it really does come to show. You know, it does like it's it's a very like it's a very like where this album's really at, and then you get the tracks like Please, and I'm just honestly like not really into this song whatsoever. Like it is one of probably one of the weakest songs of the year so far. It just it I like the musicianship, but like it's such like the guest vocalist that they have on here. At first, he does fine. He kind of sounds like the Contortionist lead singer a little bit, like in the opening. But like when we get to the end, I mean, he just like really does nothing for me. And the song's lyrics really don't do anything. You know, like they kind of just repeat themselves over and over with the lyrics. Oh, I love this. Like I'm gonna bite you or whatever the heck kind of lyrics. They kind of just repeat themselves a little bit too much. And you could tell this is like a first album. You could tell like they're not experienced songwriters yet, like in terms of like anything that they're doing. Like, um, I did enjoy a couple songs on this album. Of course, the first two songs I think are pretty good. Blur and Hole. I also enjoyed Blood, which is actually the third track on the album. Even though it is kind of like messy a little bit. I do like the instrumentation, the drum work, all that kind of stuff. I do kind of like that about it. And I like the song Teeth pretty okay. I think it's a pretty solid track as well. But I do still have faith in this band that they could definitely do a lot of things. This isn't like they're on their seventh album and they're like doing this stuff. Like I would be much harder on this album if this was like a band with like 5 albums in their career, and this is the album that they're doing, or if this is a band that had sold out, or like that have been doing something and then they sold out and then they did this or something like that, or they completely changed to this or something. I would be harder in that situation, but because this is Dead7's first album, you gotta give them a little bit more credit. They do have the sound and stuff to really break through, but it's not gonna be like. I don't think this is the album where they're really gonna be like remembered for something good. I really think eventually down the line they'll find something. There'll be something where this formula can definitely work, and where the vocals obviously will work a lot better, because the vocals really are not that good on this album. Like they are very monotone, very just they really don't do much for me. Like on this, like throughout this entire album, especially when you guys or whatever, or like when he tries to like force his voice out, like when he's doing like more melodic stuff, like that's like falsetto stuff, that he sounds good there. But when he's like trying to sound aggressive or whatever, he really doesn't like do the best job at it. He sounds like a pop punk musician or something, I guess. And that's really it for this album. Love what you can while you got something left to love here. And I was thinking any other situation this would probably be get like a 5 or something like that. But like I'm gonna go the 6. I'm gonna go like to a 6 rating, just because this is a new band and they have a lot to really like do in order for them to really be good. Because this band, who knows, they could like really like improve on their vocals. They could really get some like song structures and lyrics. They could really like make something that's like a little bit more meaningful, if like in like maybe 5 years from now, maybe even like 3 years from now. Who knows what their like album cycle will be like releasing music. They could try a little bit more like in the future. This is just their first album though, and as for that, it's fine. I think definitely recommended to a lot of fans of like modern metalcore, especially to any band I've mentioned throughout this video. So definitely everything I've discussed in this video, let me know what you think. Once again, like I said in the intro, in the comments, I know Deftones also have a new single out entitled My Mind is a Mountain. You could check that video out after you check this out, because My Mind is a Mountain is the best song of the week by far. And that's pretty much my video. Definitely leave it, like I just said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Scamp the Wolf signing out. Take care.